Jonas, you outdid yourself. For anyone unaware, Jonas is a game developer YouTuber who's been making devlogs on his game, Will You Snail, for a few years now. Will You Snail just came out, and of course, I played it, and it's great. So first things first, Will You Snail is a rage platformer with an interesting story, mean narrator, and obstacles that try to predict where you're gonna go and place spikes, lasers, squid, and more in your way. If that sounds in any way interesting to you, then get the game. So you're gone? Okay. Without any further ado, let's dive straight in. What exactly do you do in this game? Well, most of the time, it's a precision platformer. A really hard precision platformer. There are some more things you do, but I'll get to that later. As for the platforming itself, it's actually really well designed. There's loads of different mechanics to mess around with, like bouncing balls, falling blocks, guns. Each one is fun on its own, but they're usually combined with others to make it more interesting. But they're only added together when necessary. More complex abilities are not combined with other complex abilities. It's very smartly controlled. However, if you do find it too difficult or complex, just change the difficulty. There's 4 different difficulty settings, which are all forms of easy, which is just pretty funny. But if you find it too hard, just make it easier. And if you find it too easy, just make it harder. But even if you're too prideful to change it, the game will do it by itself. Auto-scaling difficulties are really cool, and this game has one. But if you don't like it, you could just simply turn it off. Now, this idea of changing your difficulty scared me, because if you can change your difficulty to anything super easily with no repercussions, then why not make it as easy as possible? Full set modes like easy, medium, and hard that you can't switch between are fine, because it's constant. And most people don't want to play on easy mode. However, because every difficulty is a form of easy and you can switch super easily, playing on easier difficulties doesn't feel as bad. So what's stopping you from doing the easiest difficulty? Well, it's actually quite simple, yet ingenious. The game remembers what difficulty you beat each level at, and it shows you above every level on the level screen, which makes it very obvious that you could do better. And the only way to get 100% is by beating each level on easy, which remember is the hardest difficulty. This is really smart. It's easy to lower your difficulty if you need, but still encourages you not to, and even changes it for you if it's too hard or too easy. It's fantastic. Seriously, I wish this type of difficulty appeared in more games. I love it so much. However, the precision platforming isn't the whole game. For instance, you can find loads of hidden paths hidden in different levels, and a lot of the time they'll lead to special bonus rooms. These rooms usually aren't about platforming, but instead about something else. Like at one point, you get this entire tower defense section, which is really hard. That's super cool. However, you can also find these cool side mechanics on the main path as well. Like there are multiple levels designed around a basketball gimmick, which is just amazing. And one of these side games that shows up a lot are the puzzles. They show up both on the main path and in bonus side rooms, but they're never necessary. You can't just skip them. At first, these puzzles were very easy, but quickly became pretty difficult and enjoyable to play. I really enjoyed them, but if they aren't on the main path, why solve them? Well, the reason you do all this extra content is for these collectible, triangles. Why do you need them? I'm not sure, but they're fun to collect, so I do. However, another thing you can collect, or I guess find, are these story chat logs. You also find them on the main path a lot. The story in this game is actually quite nice. Like I said, it's told within these chat logs between Dylan and a unicorn. By the way, the unicorn is an AI, not an actual unicorn. Now, as a person who doesn't like to read a lot of things, I skimmed through most of these. But they were spaced out enough that I read a few of them, and I got enough of the story to understand what was going on. Until, of course, the end, where I read everything because I was invested. Anyways, I don't really want to spoil the story, so I'm just gonna skim over the parts that come before the end. Basically, Dylan makes a unicorn AI, and then he also has a love interest, Amelia, who was kidnapped by some bad guys, and we don't know if she's dead or not, and that's all I'm gonna tell you. If you want to know the rest of the story, then play the game. But I should warn you that the story is really sad and told really well, and I really enjoyed it, even though it is mostly told through reading. However, another way you get story is through Squid. Squid is really cool. He's an AI that talks to you throughout the game. He's very entertaining and very smart. He constantly comments on exactly what you do, whether it's changing the difficulty.
Why are humans so indecisive?
Doing nothing.
Hey Snail, are you standing still or are you just moving very slowly? I can't tell.
Or even just dying.
Did you forget about the falling blocks again?
He's very smart and very fun to listen to. His design is also very cool. He's not really a face, he's just some brackets put together to look like a face, which is just really cool. He's also constantly visible, always on screen. You'd think that'd be annoying, maybe distracting, but it's not. He's designed perfectly well and faded at just the right amount that you can always see him, but he's never distracting. Squid is perfect. He's entertaining, looks interesting, never repeats himself, comments on what you do, and isn't too distracting. It's amazing how Jonas was able to make him so well. His backstory is even good too, but I'm not gonna spoil that. I'm just surprised that he works as well as he does. I assumed he wouldn't say much and distract from the game, but nope, I seriously can't think of a single thing wrong with him. He's great. Really, the only thing left to talk about, I think, are the bosses. They're pretty good. I don't want to spoil them all, but they're all really good. They're all distinct and different, and they're all ingeniously designed. Like the first one you shoot up at, but the ceiling is made of falling blocks, so you have to avoid shooting them. But you can also make the falling blocks fall on the boss, doing more damage. This boss is awesome. It builds off of multiple mechanics we've already seen before, but now just used in a unique boss fight all put together. It's great. This is super well designed. Another boss builds off the basketball gimmick, but now you have to hit the ball in just the right way, just so perfectly so that the boss doesn't have a chance to charge. Stopping a robot from charging to defeat it, that's genius. Like these bosses, they're just super fun, and I wish we had more of them. I also like that Squid gets upset when you kill the bosses. It's really smart.
All of my favorite robot friends destroyed into pieces.
And that's pretty much all to talk about besides the end. So for those that stayed, even though they haven't played the game, leave now. I'm about to spoil basically everything there is to spoil. So please just go buy the game. It's great. You'll love it. I promise. Unless you don't like rage games. In that case, don't get the game. You probably won't like it. But you might still. I'm not sure. Anyway, are you gone? Okay. Okay, let's go. The ending starts with this cutscene, I guess. I'm not really sure what to call this. This cutscene helps bring the story to an end. Remember Amelia, the love interest? Yeah, she's here. Well, like a simulation of her. You get it. This tells a story about how she was actually kidnapped and forced to make an AI. She made Squid. Yeah, the AI trying to kill you this entire time, it was made by her. However, she made him to be nice. She didn't want him to be evil. However, the people who kidnapped her and forced her to make Squid wanted him to be evil. So they forced her to make him evil. She, of course, realized that was a mistake and didn't want him to do bad. So she wanted to delete him so that he could never hurt anyone. But she didn't have access to delete him. The only one who did was Squid. So she told Squid to delete himself. And he, rightfully so, got angry and told the guards to kill her. They did. The one person Squid trusted just wanted to kill him. That is so heartbreaking. No wonder he wants to kill humans. It's totally understandable. I mean, still evil, but understandable. It really made me feel sad for him. But anyway, cutscene over. Move on. After the cutscene, the game starts to break. The level graphics don't line up with hitboxes and the level becomes distorted and upside down. Squid runs out of ideas of what to give you, so you fight unfinished boxes and then literally just yourself. Eventually, you fight him. He's really fun. Not my favorite boss, but still really fun. You go around getting guns to try to shoot Squid, and then he'll remove them from you, and you have to go get another one. It's really fun, but after you do enough damage, the fight changes, and you move on to phase 2. Here, your gun always shoots towards him, so you don't have to aim. It's just about dodging. This part is also pretty fun, and it's really hard, but after you do enough damage, he goes down. Then, all damaged, he begs you to stay with him so he isn't left alone. Personally, I stayed, and after a while, he opened the door for me. Inside was his broken heart. You take it and bring it to the other half of his heart, which he showed you earlier in the game, which allows you inside of his brain. Inside, however, is a firewall not allowing you to access his heart. So what do? Well, I explored a bit, and I found a way to redirect the water in the game, making all non-water levels water levels, and all water levels non-water levels. That's insane! You now have all new levels with the same geometry as the old levels, but completely new obstacles and new ways to beat them. It's amazing! I can't wait to just play all these levels again. It's gonna be so fun. But anyways, the water is now in his brain and puts out the firewall, allowing you to pass and save Squid. Then the credits roll. Oh, by the way, if you choose to leave him and not heal his heart, he just says he's going to kill you, and then credits roll. But if you do, you're gonna miss out on a lot of content. Anyways, the ending is great. Seriously, every single level changed. That's insane. The game was able to make me feel bad for a guy who wanted to kill me the whole game and allowed me to help him, which was really fun. It's fantastic. This game was great. I had a lot of fun with the platforming, puzzles, bosses, and even the story. It was a lot of fun. It was great, but the game's over, so good, but wait, what is this? What? There's an entire mode for relieving stress. This is amazing. I love this idea. To play a stress relief game after a rage game, I love this mode. This game is just filled with so much love and care. Every inch of it, even the way you exit the game, it's amazing. It's amazing how Jonas was able to do all of this. I love this game. It's so close to perfection. All the obstacles felt fair and challenging. It was usually my fault if I died. Well, I mean, like, the only thing that comes to mind that I didn't like in the game were these weird arrow things, you have to move in the direction they're pointing so that they don't kill you. However, the window for when you have to move in this direction is very unclear. I think it's because the arrows move up and down with you at the same time as they're moving closer to you, making it harder to keep track of how much time you have left and thus irritating to tell when you should move. I think either making the window bigger or simply moving the arrows off of the snail and onto some other part of the screen would make it much easier to read. But this is really just a nitpick. I still got past it and still had a lot of fun. Hold on, never mind. Ignore any problem you have with this game. You can give your snail a hat. 10 out of 10. No, but seriously, this game was far better than I ever thought it would be. There's still plenty of levels left in the game that I haven't even touched, because it's just a lot of content, and it's a lot of fun, and it's really hard, and I'm not even sure if I'm ever gonna beat it all. I do plan on playing it longer to even try 100%ing it, but I probably won't, because I'm just not the best at games. But anyways, I'm starting to ramble. This game is great, and I think you should all play it, but that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching, thanks Jonas for making a great game, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. So, hello, this is the last clip I'm recording, and I'm recording it very late in the process of making this video. I recorded it last week, but accidentally got it deleted, so now I'm recording it again. I already recorded it like a few minutes ago, but then my headphones weren't fully plugged in, so the audio was not good at all. So now I'm re-recording it. Yeah, I hope this video is done on time. I'm panicking that it's not, but hopefully it is, so go watch it. Well, you are watching it if it's done. Never mind, goodbye.